we're gonna do it anyway. So. Where the fuck is my Vim?
We're live on Streamplays.
I had a technologist, by the way, bitch at me yesterday about being a Vim user, and I look, if you're a techie person like me, and you've had access to machines where that was the only choice back in the 80s, 90s, late 80s, early 90s, or whatever, you have to look at those people and go, you need to just shut up. You need to shut up.
We're live in both places. Yeah. I'm not looking at YouTube.
Okay. All right.
I can if I have to, but
you can if you have to.
Unless somebody else is going to watch it.
I'm in YouTube.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're going to let people filter in.
Yeah.
But
I guess I should be over on YouTube anyhow.
YouTube.
There. And I'm sorry to drop a Cardi B quote, but it sort of made sense. By the way, in the Daily Digest, I don't know if you noticed, but one of the objects in the Daily Digest was talking about, I guess over in Jinx's neck of the woods, they're doing lube wrestling.
Doing what?
Yes, they're trans guys are doing lube wrestling.
Wow,
interesting.
And it's I was like, okay.
It's actually a pretty interesting concept.
Oh.
Sounds fun.
Like there's more information to it than just lube wrestling.
Sure.
But anyway, so all right, well, we'll just go right into it. So today's survival and exhale or whatever. We have people that are in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, you've confirmed this.
We do.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
Oh boy.
Okay. Because I expect you to bitch at me about my life hack shit from today.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh boy, I should have read it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you or Brandon are going to be the ones to complain about it for sure. But,
I did want to let you know I am restreaming on my YouTube. And
oh no, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
You're good. I have a meeting that I'm supposed to go to. In like 4 minutes, but I'm just going to listen to it, so it's not like I have to participate. Anyway, all right. So, let's go right into it. Survival. So, today's first survival topic is we're going to talk about Jim Jordan. So, Jim Jordan basically said we should never forget about what they did to the guy that we, the people, elected as president twice. And this is Jim Jordan basically twisting accountability into victimhood because he's a dickhead. And he's not a little dickhead. He's a huge dickhead. And so the truth that we take away from that, the thing that Jordan won't tell us, is remembering isn't the problem. It's selective amnesia. When you choose to forget the violence and the lies and the attempted coup, and you're not protecting democracy, and you're burying that all alive, you are forced to not do that, instead practicing radical honesty. And so write down what you've witnessed. Share that with people. Hell, that's why I write a publication. But don't let gaslighters, political or otherwise, rewrite what the fuck happened to you and in what capacity. And the people who tell you to forget are the ones with the most to hide. And so the gaslighter's trick is just bullshit. Jordan wants us to remember loyalty, but forget that January 6th ever fucking happened. The gallows ropes, the smeared shit on the Capitol walls, but memory sort of stops that from happening. So if we document everything and we keep retelling things over and over and over again, eventually people will realize. Well, I think people have already realized, because approval ratings are in the toilet and people are saying that our Führer is sick and ill and he won't survive till the end of the year. And but there's this whole, we talked about this yesterday in a meeting. There's this whole believe, or we talked about this yesterday actually, don't believe everything you hear and believe only half of what you see. That's how MAGAs function. And MAGAs don't live in a world of trust but verify. They just trust blindly and implicitly. So that's the first thing. So now I'm gonna pick on people. Oh, I can't. Sarah, can you drag Brandon to the top?
Oh no. Well, with the rise of AI, you can't believe even half of what you see anymore.
Well,
a friend of mine yesterday was talking about videos of like JD Vance where he's giving a speech at the podium and putting on eyeliner and mascara and everything. It looks so real. So in that quote, what did we do to him? What's the victim?
Oh, the fact that we are constantly calling him a criminal. We're constantly trying to indict him for criminal activities.
Oh.
We're constantly attacking.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right.
Well,
It doesn't help that he is a criminal, a convicted one at
Right.
that. He's an adjudicated rapist. There's an awful lot of information with his name on it coming out of the Epstein files. So there's a good possibility, obviously nothing concrete, that he's also a kitty diddler. So
Yeah. No.
I mean, I think you're not wrong about that. But I watching the Jack Smith testimony yesterday was really hard because all the people on the one side of the aisle were like, they asked him a direct question. It was like, did you sound this? Did you say this? Oh, by the way, somebody in the chat said the girl on the bottom is cute. Wait, who's moderating the chat? Chat's kind of going crazy. Just going to warn you. That's the YouTube chat, by the way. That's going up. But anyway, yeah. Right. However we abuse the Donnell is how, is the bad point of it.
So should we all shed a tear for our dear president?
Nah, fuck that guy.
Right.
Well, I don't know. I don't have much to say on that front. I mean,
okay, Sarah, pick somebody else random.
Yeah, revisionist history. I mean, really don't need to say much more. It's typical of this government to this administration to try and rewrite the things that have already happened and continue to do that in the future. So we already know what's going to happen. Like Wendy said, the work for writers, artists, so on and so forth, is to catalog that, make sure that that what happened is not lost, and how we lived our lives is not lost in the struggle. So yeah, resistance is real. Being an artist is real, and artists who function as the sole arbiters of what was, is real too.
Sorry for the background. Pick on somebody else, Sarah.
Jinx, you're up.
I say, don't put me on the spot. But I mean, as far as this entire, it's a circus. That's all it's a damn circus. The people who are trying to side with Donald Trump and say that it's not fair the way that he's being treated. I was like, it is fair. When you do criminal things, expect to be treated like a criminal. The man's a con artist. He bankrupted casinos. That's how much of a shitty business person he is. He has no concept of how to make money legitimately. He only knows how to steal. And he's been convicted of it multiple times. Theft, embezzlement. His entire family is not allowed to run a charity in the state of New York because they stole from children's cancer funds. They were convicted of stealing from children's cancer funds. And now they're banned in the state of New York from owning any kind of charity whatsoever because of their criminal activity. His entire family is nothing but fraudsters and con artists. His kids, too. His wife is a purchased bride from a Russian mail order magazine. And that's basically what it boils down to. So if he doesn't want to be treated like the sack of shit that he is, maybe he should stop acting like a sack of shit. Dude is demented. He's got serious mental issues. And what's that say about the people who support, follow, or worship that jabbering orange butt plug? That they're probably the exact same way. These people have no concept of reality. They're the most despicable, vile, disgusting human beings that are possibly imaginable. They're nothing but mouth-breathing, dickless knuckle draggers that fuck their own sister. And honestly, I'm getting real sick and tired of these shitbags boasting on the fucking internet about how wonderful it is to have a fucking Nazi in the White House.
I love it. That was amazing.
Tell us how you really feel. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right.
No, if this country were smart, if the people in this country, the vast majority, because you got to remember, less than a fifth of the population of the United States voted for that shitbag. That means the other 4/5 of this country either didn't vote for him or didn't vote at all. That means they're outnumbered 4-1. If we were smart, we would vote every one of these idiots, including a lot of the Democrats who are spineless, feckless shitheads themselves, out of office, put the right people who have a more socialist mindset, into the White House, and then we'll change the Constitution to make sure this shit never fucking happens again. And once that's been changed, start trying and convicting every single person that enabled that jabbering fucking rectal toy to get into office in the first place. There needs to be another Nuremberg trial. Every single ICE agent needs to be arrested, convicted, and then hanged in the public square to let everybody else know that if you do Nazi shit, you die a Nazi death.
Yeah, I mean, that's like goes back to the whole mentality of all the people in the military that are like, what are we gonna do? Well, we're just following orders.
Well, that didn't work in the Nuremberg trials. So.
Yeah, you went to the ICC. I was just following orders. that still means you're going to be put to death.
Yeah, either you're going to die by firing squad or we're going to hang you from a light pole. That's
Yeah,
basically
I
what it
mean,
boils down to.
yeah, that's all that's going to work out to.
Mhm.
Sarah, you want to have words now?
I don't know that I can really follow that with anything. That was strong. Yeah, it definitely is revisionist history. That they're trying to rewrite the facts with fiction. Don't really have anything beyond that. If there's something questionable that you hear, look it up.
Well, I mean, I sort of expected the factorial of responses for that, which is why I led back up from the Abraham Lincoln thing, because the Lincoln thing sort of flowed back into the, and so the Lincoln quote is, "I'm a success today because I had a friend who believed in me, and he didn't have the heart to let him down." And so what that says is that Lincoln understood that we're fucking forgetting. Success is not a solitary moment. You find your people, the ones who see you when you can't see yourself, who hold your hope when yours runs dry. But here's the hard part: be that person for someone else. I can't tell you the countless number of times that I have done that. Be that, hosting lunches at my house or doing social events for people to take refuge and so forth and so forth. But your loyalty, my loyalty to others, as much as your loyalty to others, might be the only light that matters in this case, because belief feels like warm hands, especially when they're holding on to ones that are cold. You can't white knuckle your way alone through life. You just can't. I've tried, it doesn't work. You find the person who reflects the potential that you have back when yours turns into a fucking wreck. Like the guy that Brandon hasn't met yet, and I want him to meet. But you communicate, you say the words, you show up. Survival is shared infrastructure, not solo performance. And so the thread that you and the people that you surround yourself with, that isn't a metaphor. It's an actual rope that keeps you from falling into the void. I don't know that I would make it without certain people in my life at all. I don't think I would survive. And so surrounding myself with people like you guys every number of so days where we sit and talk about these issues. I wouldn't get by if it weren't for this shit. I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it weren't for this. So I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful for everyone that's involved. I'm even thankful for the fucked up chat that's going on YouTube on Jinx's channel. Holy shit.
I say you got an entire rush of dickless incels.
Boy, I know when I told Goat Dog to suck a dick, so I'm not going to hold back on that. So
I didn't
Sarah,
see that one.
Yeah. Oh no. If you log into, because Jinx is dual casting to her YouTube, and this is entertaining. Sarah, if you go to the next person, please.
Yeah.
See, now we're putting you on the spot first, and now you
Me again. I'm not even sure what to address with this. So,
Well, I mean, the question is, do you have people around you who support you?
I mean, yeah. I consider myself as a trans woman to be one of the lucky trans women, and that is I have a very supportive mother. My father was supportive in his last days before he passed away. My brother and sisters are very supportive. My kids are very supportive. Hell, even my ex-wife is extremely supportive. So I don't have a lot of negativity in my family or immediate friend structure that I've had to deal with. Now, that doesn't mean I didn't have to deal with any at all. I lost a lot of business partners. I lost a lot of people who I thought were my friends that didn't want to be around, for my transition. And to this day, I haven't talked to them since I came out. Because what's the point? I'm not trying to convince people to like me. I don't have to fucking do that. So screw them. But I think the hardest part was losing the business partners also meant I had to sell my companies because it's very difficult to run a business by yourself. It really is. So I had to stop doing things that I love to do because I didn't want to I didn't have the ability to manage it all on my own. So that was a pretty big hit. That's basically it. I mean, now it's just counting down, I guess, the little milestones in someone's transition. Like today's a new milestone. I got braces
so you just got braces on today?
this morning. Yeah.
Oh,
how's the mouth? Is it hurting?
It's a little sore, but it's not too bad. It's tolerable with some Advil.
I dealt with braces through all of high school, and I pity you.
Well, it's like I thought it was funny. Is I've been wanting to fix my teeth for 35 years, and I waited 35 years to look like a dorky teenager.
I mean, I wasn't even aware people did like metal braces anymore. I thought, you had the stupid Invisalign shit.
So I had the option to do the Invisalign, but because I have such impaction and crowding on the bottom row, they said the Invisalign wasn't going to be strong enough to actually turn the teeth. So yep, metal braces.
Yeah. What was the topic again? Was it like being alone versus like having people
supportive community?
Okay. So yeah, when I first started transition, I lost everybody. One fell swoop, like with one email, that was it. It took Egg 3 years to come around, so it was rough. Now my bestie Mishmish is and has been a big supporter of mine and continues to be. She's one of the few people who've never misgendered me. Once I changed my name and started using my pronouns, she switched over just like that. So while my community wasn't large, the support there was enough. Now my parents are coming around now, so I get support, like a little bit of support there. Egg came around. She's a massive support system. I have associates. Well, I wouldn't call them associates, but not quite friends, and they provide me enough oomph to like want to continue going with my transition and to understand that I've got people around who, while they may not like love me, they care about me, and that feels good. So I do get support, and especially with y'all, y'all have allowed me to come in and infiltrate y'all's family. So I appreciate that. And that's good support as well. So yeah, I am getting support and it feels great. And, I feel like when I was living by myself, trying to do things on my own, I wasn't getting that kind of support. And it was, I had a rough time. Now, that's not to say now I couldn't live by myself. I would still need the support around. But when I lived by myself, it was just isolating, ideations all over the place. And while I still have those, I can deal with them better with the support that I do have, and the medication. Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, I was not as fortunate as Jinx as far as family goes. My family is very conservative, and my friends at the time, and church community, all of that. But I've found a lot more support online in communities when I started writing and talking about experiences and things. There were a lot of people who showed love and support, and I very rarely get any negative comments. Not, and I stay away from places where I think I'll get them, like YouTube, apparently. Yeah, I just have to kind of, with history of depression and stuff, kind of have to moderate how much I take in.
No.
Some I can deal with some, but after a while, a lot of it just gets too much, and it gets to me. So, just have to kind of moderate that. But I was thinking of something else, and now it's gone. I don't know. I can't think.
I do want to say that in place of in real life friends, like online communities have been great, and I think you're 100% right. I have pods of friends online that I can go to for different reasons, and for different needs, and and in turn I can provide support as well.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing I was going to say. Thank you. Is not only receiving support, but actually and giving it also, and finding those people who you can relate to and provide that support. I don't have a huge following, but I do try to lift other people up, and like through December, all the interviews, different people that I went live with, I tried to focus on them and kind of elevating their voices, and that made me feel good. So it was kind of a win-win situation.
I'm finding myself kind of in the same boat as Jinx. Everybody that I've come out to it has been very supportive. But the thing that I'm struggling with, or that I've realized I'm struggling with, is like I'm always willing to support other people. I'm very unwilling to let myself be supported.
Why would you behave that way? And that almost sounds like somebody that doesn't like to be told thank you. I don't know who I'd be talking about if I mentioned that.
I don't know. I think it more stems from the few negative interactions that I have had. And just like reacquainting myself with myself.
Well, what have you found by reacquainting yourself with yourself?
Still figuring that out.
Still figuring that out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that's better than not.
Yeah, you figure this is an internal conversation that I've been having for heading seriously for about a year. So
Whose fault was that?
that it was an internal conversation.
No, I'm not. I'm going to be quiet now. I'm not going to say anything because I'll get myself into trouble.
All right. Well, on that note, then.
So in today's digest, I quoted Cardi B. I'm not a Cardi B fan, but the quote, it like hit. Drag comes from the dolls. Period. Point blank. And so she celebrates her trans glam squad by saying that. Survival means recognizing who taught you everything you know. When I started out going through my transitionary phase, I didn't have anybody. And as an indication of the previous discussion, I lost everybody. I lost my ex. I lost my child. I lost everything. And so I had to start completely over as a queer person and then later on as a trans person. And so, you know, the people that society tells you to ignore, drag queens, trans girls, sex workers, immigrants, those are the people that hold the wisdom you desperately need. The people that you pay attention to, who have been pushed to the margins. And those are the people that you interact with. When I started out, I was a queer gay boy who befriended a drag queen who competed in Drag Race like 3 times. And so one of those times meant going down to Pensacola, Florida to audition for RuPaul's Drag Race. It was season 7, I think. Season 7 or season 8. But anyway, and that was an entirely different world for me as a person. And so there were things that I learned from that space that I would never have known. Yeah, I believe that's the groceries, if I'm guessing. Anyway, my grocery order just got here. So, yeah, I mean, not having anybody and having to turn to community resources to understand where to go and what to do. And not to TMI, but within a month of coming out as a queer person, month and a half, I went to the ER one night because of a fissure. I'll give you 3 guesses why. That's what happens when you don't have somebody to kind of tell you that's not cool and that's not supposed to happen. You know, so, you know, from that perspective, those margins aren't empty, but when you're starting out, building your network is crucial, and recognizing the history that's there. Now, I will say, and I've said this before, early in my transition, I had access to a very well-known trans person who had pretty much done everything she could to just hide herself away entirely. And so the first time that she ever saw me in a dress, she was like, "Oh, we should have a talk." And as it turns out, it was she was a Bond girl, Carolyn Cossey. She lives in Kennesaw currently, which is where I was living at the time. And yeah, oh wow, holy shit! Like that education blew all of that out of the water, and so I didn't. There was just so much I didn't realize, and so I guess the point of the topic is to recognize where all of this started, because we have people that are telling us, why in the last 10 years did this become a thing? Why did these people suddenly appear? No, that's bullshit. Trans and queer people have been around for thousands of years.
Millennia.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, thousands of years. I mean, the Bible talks about gay people and factorially trans people. They call them eunuchs, but I mean, it's really the same difference. And two-spirit people. I mean, this bullshit that we just suddenly popped up and we suddenly appear. By the way, Stanley, I'm a very sober trans person. That said, however, I do take 3 fingers of Macallan's in the 16 at night, but that doesn't make me an unsober person either. So, your audience, Jinx, I love your audience.
Say, most of my audience on TikTok is fantastic. Most of my audience on YouTube is pretty good, but every once in a while, you just get like just a swath of dickheads. It's just they feel compelled to come in and say some of the stupidest shit.
All right, next, Sarah. See, everybody loves you, Jinx, because you're as mouthy as I am. You're even more mouthy than I am.
Yeah, I've been told multiple times through my military career that I had a mouth on me. But, you know, my mouth doesn't write checks it can't cash. So.
Growing up in a rural pub culture, about the same difference. Don't open your mouth if you can't back it up.
Right.
Silence washed upon us.
Sarah, if somebody goes quiet, you have to go to the next person after 5 seconds.
Sure. Oh, you want me to talk? Okay, so now I mean, you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna say ecstasy says statistical facts. What statistical facts? Like what facts have you brought to the table that any of us would even be interested in reading?
Right, yeah. I'm not feeling it. I'm really just not feeling it.
Let's see. Mama asked how many SSRIs are most trans women on. I would say probably about 50% less than most cisgender heterosexual white women in their 30s and 40s.
Well, I'm old, right? So I can say, like, back in the 70s, how many 30-something, 40-something year old women were on Valium?
Oh, she's
Yes.
Mommy's little helper.
Uh-huh.
Right.
I think they switched from Valium to Xanax now. It's just like everyone's on fucking Xanax. And it's like, really? Do a backflip.
What was the question? When I started the process of coming out, even though I was a later in life transitioner and still am, I started going to gay bars by myself, you know, and that, you know, just sitting back and watching. You know, they had a drag show on the second floor. So I would go watch that, go to the third floor, look at all the dancing, the gay boys dancing, you know, the drag queens walking around, selling shit. You know, it was debauchery at its finest and at its best. But it also allowed me as a voyeur to kind of look in on the world of queer people and kind of take in, you know, what I had been missing. after that, I found a website or an online chat group type of thing. I guess it was a web board. I'm not even sure what you called it back in 2008 or 2006, 2008, 2006. And, that allowed me to, that in a book called True Selves allowed me to kind of explore my gender a lot more in kind of a safe place. Like a lot of the girls on there were super catty. We were all young back then. So I've grown up with these women. Now in 2026, starting from 2008, there are now 98 of us left. And we've become like a kind of a family. We come from all over the world. We are united by one thing is that we are trans, and then from there it branches off. But finding an online community was instrumental and allowing me to come out. And like Wendy said, when I came out there, around me there were no references, no ways to do this, no ways to do that. Now I did have egg, and egg, I could wear egg's clothes at the time. So it was getting her clothing and wearing them and trying on outfits and getting her advice and her opinions on how to do this and do that. That came later, and that was good as well. It helped me get in the flow of my style and what I wanted to do with transition and how I wanted it to look. So yeah.
Oh wait, I'm supposed to put Brandon up next. I'm out of order.
You had one job to do.
Yeah, I know. I'm new here. Sorry.
I didn't accept myself as being gay until I was an adult, and I was still introverted. It wasn't a huge coming out kind of thing. I just came out to individuals, people that are close to me. But there was you were talking about drag shows. There was a local college that hosted a free drag show. There were 2 or 3 drag bars that got together and did this show at the college. And so I went to that and sat far in the back because I knew, like, from what I had heard, that they could randomly pull you up on stage or something like that, and it's like, I don't want that. I was like, I just want to sit back and watch and see what this is all about. It was fun. I enjoyed it. And then I went to one of the drag bars that participated. Was Hamburger Mary's, and so I went to the Hamburger Mary's, but I went during the day when there wasn't a drag show. I just wanted to go and kind of scope out, kind of what Onyx Rose was talking about, just kind of be an observer, just to see what the bar looked like and that kind of thing. And I eventually did go to a show and everything, and so that was a cool experience. And I didn't go to my first Pride Fest until 2019. I went to the Kansas City Pride Fest, and I felt very comfortable there. I wasn't sure what to expect exactly, but yeah, it was great. It was partly I knew that going there I wouldn't run into anybody that I knew. No friends or family would be there, so it's like, well, I'm not gonna have to worry about them seeing me there or anything like that. So but yeah, everybody was very nice, very accepting and open and everything. it was great. And then I wanted to, continue going back the next year. Of course, the next year was 2020, and everything was shut down. They weren't having any kind of public gatherings or anything. So that was kind of disappointing. It's like, once I finally go, I plan on going the next year, and it's all shut down. But yeah, I've been going. I mean, since they started opening it back up again, I've been going every year. Last year, I went to a bunch of them. I went on my Midwest Pride tour where I went live in all these different places, and so I tried out. Went to St. Louis and Springfield and Nebraska and Kansas, Topeka, Kansas, and it was. I've had a great time going to all those. So I've found a lot of love there. That's my story.
That's your story. You're sticking to it.
So I guess I don't know. I mean, I guess the thing that I've noticed the most is that the most significant thing for me has been finding like an online community, just because I don't know where to look around here. Like, yeah, I've got some coworkers that I kind of have just organically gravitated towards, and so we kind of have a at work queer community, which is kind of fun. But I've been finding like the more conversations I have, like these conversations, the more people that I talk to, and the more times I retell the things that like I've come to realize, it just seems like it brings out more. It just, every time I tell the story, it unearths something else. So being able to talk to other people who've had even just like surface level similar experiences, whether they be exact same experiences or just, a few things are similar, being able to relate with other people on any level is helpful.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that helps. And so for the last 15 minutes of the show, this is kind of open forum. So you want my food things first, Brandon, or you want my crazy life hacky things first? Because I've got a great life hacky thing.
Well, go for it.
Okay, great. All right. So I get really, and Jinx, I'm sure, is probably going to agree with this, get really pissed off about shit often. And not just often. So what I am considering is instituting the fucking spite jar in my house. And so what is the spite jar? The spite jar is that every time someone pisses me off or the world acts like a complete and total ass, write it down on a slip of paper and throw it in the jar. When I need motivation, pull one out, channel that anger into whatever the fuck it is that I'm working on. Because I guarantee you, whatever it is that fucking pissed me off enough to write like 5 words, this guy is a dickhead. And here's why. That's great. So from my perspective, I write a shit ton of Python and Golang code daily. Nothing fuels late night coding or writing newsletter shit than fucking grudges. The only thing better than that is listening to absolutely grind-crushingly loud, obnoxious hate music. Children of Bodom is good for that purpose, for anybody that knows who that is. So the spike jar. I'm considering setting up the spike jar in my house, as opposed to the spit jar, which would be something entirely different. Entirely different. And then the other thing is sensory input protocol. So when your brain is sort of spiraling, this happens a lot, and your senses are all fucked up. Bite into a goddamn lemon. And then turn whatever the fuck you're listening to all the way the fuck up. And then stand barefoot on cold tile and hold ice cubes until they melt into your palms. That's the 5 senses trip that resets your brain. The more senses you can trip one after the other iteratively over and over will actually stop you from having a panic attack. One of my go-tos for this is cough drops, because cough drops have a taste, cough drops have a sound, cough drops have a smell, and cough drops have a tactile. You can hit all 4 of those in the middle of a fucking panic attack, and it'll kill it, which works a lot faster than when I have to take clonazepam because I'm panicking and I can't deal with it. And then the rot log. So in line with my book that tracks my chores around the house, my therapist told me, Wendy, you should keep a rot log. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And she says, it's a list of everything that you're supposed to do, but actively choose not to. Whatever the fuck that is. Exercising, networking, optimizing your LinkedIn profile, which nobody should ever do, by the way. Whatever performative garbage society insists matters. And then watch it pile up like compost. But here's the thing. Don't feel guilty about it. The things that actually matter will haunt you into actually doing something. The things that don't make any fucking difference whatsoever, if you consciously put them on the rot log, eventually they'll just disappear into the ether and you'll never have to fucking deal with them again. So those are my 3 life lesson activities for today, which kind of crazy, right? Now the cooking thing. So,
did you say you instituted the spike jar?
No,
yet,
I'm going to institute the spike jar.
Oh, okay. I was wanting to know how it was.
Yeah,
going.
Trust me. Like if I put a jar next to my kitchen counter with a set of Post-it notes, I guarantee you, before the end of the week, it's going to be full of Post-it notes because there's a lot of fucking shit that pisses me off.
Yeah, you might need a spike barrel.
Right. Yeah, spike barrel. Oh, look, somebody in the chat says I'm reporting this group for snitching to the federal agents. Jinx, I love your chat. Holy shit.
Like I said, sometimes it's just like the bottom of the fucking barrel just tries to show up and like prove that they have validity, and they end up proving the opposite.
Oh my god, it's just it's so magical. It's just that's like, I'm sorry to say this, that's like herpes. That's the gift.
That keeps on giving. It is. Well, I had one guy like just rail against me because I made a post, like a video post of my organization. I belong to 3 different organizations, all of which have a key component of teaching people how to defend themselves against Nazi thugs. So you've got Arm Your Friends, which is based in Houston. And that organization I work with as a weapons instructor to teach people how to arm themselves, how to properly, safely, and judiciously effectively use their firearms to defend their home, their families, their friends, or regular people out on the street. You've got veterans it's a group of veterans, all combat vets, that patrol San Antonio, Austin, Houston, and Dallas looking for ICE raids and then basically standing up to them, because the one thing we've learned about ICE agents is they're all fucking sissies. And if you bully them back, they run away like little crybabies. So, yeah, when you got 85 people who are armed to the teeth with level 4 body armor walk up on a bunch of ICE douchebags, they just get back in their car and leave because they know they're outmatched. They're not trained.
So, I actually have a thing about this, and I've said this before. So, like, I want to see ICE agents go into a Crips or Blood gang neighborhood. And
Gangsta disciples.
Or I want to see ICE agents go into a Mongols biker club bar and try to detain people and see how that works out, because it's not going to work out well for them. It's just not. The Crips and Bloods have been at war with each other for forever. And when the ICE shit started happening, they called a truce so that they could escort undocumented people to their court cases so ICE wouldn't scoop them up prematurely in LA. And sure enough, nobody would fuck with those people. ICE is a bunch of goddamn, I agree, ICE is a bunch of goddamn pussies. They literally are. They're a bunch of Nazi tattooed high school rejects that couldn't go to college, so they joined ICE because the government gave them $50,000 in money and shit. But I want to be clear, and I've said this in an article. They only get 47 days of training. 47 days.
Not even that anymore. So to prove how easy it is and how inept this administration is, I applied to join ICE.
Oh my God.
So I applied using the name Ted Kaczynski. using Ted Kaczynski's actual birth date, his actual address history and records, his criminal records and history, and I did not expect to get anything. About 2.5 weeks after I applied, I got an email back at tedkaczynski@gmail.com that said, welcome to the Department of Homeland Security. Your application has been accepted. Here's all the paperwork we're going to need from you. And I was like, of all the paperwork they're asking for, like bank account, routing number, that kind of stuff to get paid direct deposit, is I had to review the contract. So I reviewed that contract in detail, and that contract states very specifically that although they are authorized a $50,000 sign-on bonus, they only get basically $4,800 up front. That's it. And they have to get there through the first year, or the government will take the $4,800 back. They will get summarily different amounts of money each year they stay up to the 5th year, which would be the final amount of money. And if they don't stay, and it says right in the contract, they must be there all 5 years, 365 days each year. If they miss a single day, they have to pay it all back. Well, here's the thing. In 5 years, what year is it going to be? 2031.
Yeah.
That fat jabbering piece of shit is not going to be president in 2031, which means Congress is going to nullify the ICE contracts, which means every single one of those dumb shits is going to have to pay every fucking penny of the bonus they got back. So once again, Donald Trump conned the stupidest people in the world because they just fall for anything. Not to mention, I ignored the email, and then 7 days after that, it says it gave me my first fucking start date in my duty reporting station. I didn't fill out any paperwork. I did not sign the offer letter. I did not tell them that I wanted to be a part of this.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So Ted Kaczynski is now a registered agent of the Department of Homeland Security ICE division.
It sounds like they've got AI running their hiring process.
Basically. They are not scanning the people that they're bringing on. So when those people in DHS leaked all the lists of people who are on there, it doesn't surprise me that there's 600 January 6ers working for ICE. It doesn't surprise me that the leader of the Proud Boys is a fucking ICE agent. It doesn't surprise me that 19 confirmed members of the Ku Klux Klan are senior, basically sergeant levels in ICE. Why is anybody fucking surprised by this?
There's the parallel. What happened to all the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers and shit, right? They're all ICE agents now.
Yep.
Well, shit. I've got a hard stop at an hour. We should do this more often. Jinx, we should just block off one day a week for you to
just come in and swear a lot. I mean, I'm good for that. I like swearing. It's funny.
It's fun, and I'm trying to make our sessions fun and not so depressing and sad.
I mean, at this point, all you can do is laugh or shoot back. So laughing is easier, and honestly, it's safer. But at some point, I think we're all going to get to the issue where we're just going to have to start shooting back.
Right. All right. Well, with that, I will tell everybody that's watching, thank you for watching. Please come back. Even you fucked up bigoted ass motherfucker people or whatever that don't know how to shut up and keep saying shit. Because look, I've been listening to the shit you're saying for a really long time. You're going to have to try much harder to get under my goddamn skin.
Right.
I mean, really, you're going to have to just try harder. Sarah, Jinx, Brandon, Onyx, thank you both. I thank you all. Monday. We're going to do this again.
Okay.
Monday.
Yep.